Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Savannah Elizabeth and today we have a fun little chatty video. I saw a video earlier. It was by Samantha March. I'll leave her video down below. It was about if she could only purchase from 5 affordable brands, what brands they would be. My 5 are Wet n Wild, ColourPop, E.L.F, Maybelline, and Loreal. And I grabbed everything I have from those 5 brands. We're not going to talk about everything, but we're going to just do a quick little lowdown. First off, we're going to start with ColourPop. Downside with ColourPop is generally you have to order it online, though some Ulta stores do have it in person, but not quite as much of a, selection. I have 5 palettes from them. I have the Stone Cold Fox, which I'm wearing on my eyes today. I love this palette. None of these have mirrors, if I recall correctly. Correct, okay. So, cool toned, beautiful nudes here. Love it. The Hocus Pocus Gather Round Sisters palette. There's going to be too many items in here for me to just put everything in the description box, so I apologize to all of you for that, but can't really be helped. ColourPop does do quite a lot of collaborations with like Disney and just all sorts of things, so they do a lot of huge collections as well, making mauves beautiful, beautiful. They come out with so many different things all the time. Blush Crush and the Double Entendre palette. Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I love all of these palettes. I love them. Alright. I do enjoy their lip liner formula. It's nice, creamy, beautiful. Pigment is great. They have a whole lot of Super Shock highlighters, beautiful cream, work really well. Super Shock eyeshadows, beautiful. I love their brushes. They are incredible, so soft. Just, oh yeah. Got 2 of my favorites here. I have F28 and F32. These came in a collection with the Stone Cold Fox palette. I bought the whole brush roll. So amazing. I've got a couple liquid lipsticks. Beautiful formula, great. I love it so much, and same with their eyeliners. I could not find the black one for this, but they're great, just amazing. They come up with so many different things, and I do want to try more, but there's something for everyone within that brand. So there is ColourPop. There's so many things that I would love to try from the brand still. I just filmed a video that will be up probably after this one by like a week, talking about 10 palettes from the brand that I would love to have, and then 5 collections from the brand that are over $50 that I would also love to have. So definitely go watch that video if you're seeing this at some point after that's live. And on to the next brand. Alright, so next is E.L.F. Oh, I'm gonna go right away and mention my #1 E.L.F. product. It is the E.L.F. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I use the shade Fair Rose. I don't even actually need to look at the packaging. I love this concealer. It is full coverage, just amazing, amazing, amazing. I will also link a few items that I believe are like my absolute favorites and items I highly recommend down in the comments for all of you to try and look around within the brands. None of that is sponsored. None of this is sponsored, period. So, yeah. Favorite concealer of all time is the E.L.F. one. I also highly recommend their lip scrub. I have just the plain coconut one. I'm not a fan of the smell, but it does such a great job at just getting everything off. I do have a problem where it will just not come out and get stuck in the lid, so that's fun, but overall I like it. There we go. It's so nice. The smell isn't lingering into. it doesn't really matter, but I highly recommend that. It's one of the best actual lip scrubs I've ever used. I love it in a stick formula. It's so lot less messy than other ones. Some of their eyeshadows are more of a hit or miss, but they have these bite-sized quads that retail for $3 for 4 shadows. I haven't tried everything, but out of the ones I have, I recommend Cream and Sugar. This little nude guy here is so nice. Truffles, another nude guy, but it's got a little bit of a deeper tone to it in general. And Rose Water. Those are my 3 favorites. This is pink. It's my style. And I have these 3. I have Berry Bad, Carnival Candy, and Acai You. Yeah, I see you. I don't know. They're just not my favorite. Berry Bad's okay, but this one, the blue Acai You, is just a no-go for me. I have noticed that the Rose Gold Nude has some shades that match up with the Rose Water palette, and I did a whole video on that, and I've also noticed something very similar with the Rose Gold Sunset when it comes to the Berry Bad palette. So I found that fairly interesting. Just I believe that these were not very expensive, so if you are interested in getting a larger palette and you like that tone, I would suggest picking up one of the bigger ones if you just want to have a few more shades and like that style. I also enjoy the E.L.F. Camo Concealer, just the plain one. It's just not as good. I like a hydrating finish, so I have noticed that the shades, even though they both are fair rose, do not match. We're getting there, I promise. I like their putty primers. They're nice as well. They're really, I like them. The eye primer is a little harder to work with. It's hard to get into the pan too, so I don't know. It's a little dry. Not my favorite, but it does get the job done. And then I like their eyeliners. They're nice. Halo Glow Setting Powder is apparently a dupe for the Hourglass ambient lighting powders, but I haven't really noticed that. I don't know. Not too big of a fan. It's a meh. I like their lip lacquers. They're a nice little glossy thing here. Good for people getting started and don't want to spend a whole lot of money on it. This is the shade Wild Rose, and it's very pretty. And then the E.L.F. No Budge Shadow Stick in Rose Quartz. Just kind of a blah, meh. I have it, whatever. Doesn't do a whole lot, but it's a nice, easy, one and done shadow. And that is E.L.F. Oh wait, no. I have 2 more palettes here. This is the Glow Gleam Beam palette. It just didn't work that great, and it's just kind of a dud, so I don't recommend that. But the E.L.F. Powder Blush Palette, I like it. Gives me a variety of blushes. I like to actually mix them in. I do wish that lighter one had less of a sheen, but they blend really nice and are good. Okay, now we're gonna go to Wet n Wild. Alright, so with Wet n Wild, I am a huge fan of their brushes. They come out with these amazing, huge collections every holiday season, and I love to pick those up. This is one brush. I used it today. And I used it for bronzer, blush, just all over everything. I used it today. A bunch of my other brushes were wet from cleaning them yesterday, so whatever, fine. I love their brushes. Highly recommend checking those out, especially if you find it on sale during the holiday season. My other absolute favorite, an actual makeup product that I'm obsessed with from Wet n Wild, is their highlighters. Like, this is so beautiful. It is in Blossom Glow. I like the pink highlights. I don't usually use my finger, but I didn't grab a bigger brush. It's so beautiful and blinding. I have it on my inner corners today. I was just trying a different look, so I went a little more subtle for my base. But use that to just kind of blend it in tiny little bit. Seriously, amazing highlighter. My only complaint with it is the packaging doesn't shut, and it's just really cheap packaging. It breaks so often on me. Packaging wise, I've had one of these crumble, but I've gone through like 3 or 4 of these total throughout the time. A lot of people do like the shade Precious Petals for a more gold highlight, but they're beautiful. On my lips today, I'm actually wearing their Liquid Catsuit High Shine Lipstick. It's a gloss in Cheek Got Real. I'm going to apply a little bit more for all of you. Yeah. Beautiful, pigmented, very comfortable. It's got the tiniest little bit of stick, but it's beautiful. Yeah. I'm not a fan of their liquid lipstick formula, but I have one that I kept because it's a nice black. And you never know. I'll keep one black. I had like 2 and I'm like, let's keep one of them. Just one. I don't really wear black. I also, though, love their lipsticks. I've got 4 of them here. Their packaging is very Pat McGrath-esque there. It's got a little lip here. I bought the shade Skinny Dipping. It's a nice little cool toned nude here. It's almost mauve. Like, come on, give me a good swatch on my hand. I actually wear that shade quite a lot. I've got a few other shades, and I did swatch, I believe, all of these in my lipstick declutter. I'm not sure when that'll be up compared to this, but I have this beautiful shade. It's my second favorite of the group. It is Mauve Outta Here. It's bright, pigmented. Just love it. I love it. My other 2 are Bare It All and Never Nude. Their eyeliners are great for their cheap little price. They're wooden. You lose their caps. It's the standard little wooden one. I've got black in that, a white one. Then I have a retractable black one. It's the just Mega Last retractable eyeliner. It's nice. They got the job done for cheap. And that is why I would pick those up again. Wet n Wild I don't have too much from, but I'm obsessed with what I do have from the brand. And next, let's go to a giant pile. That is Maybelline. So with Maybelline, I have a lot of lip products from Maybelline. And let's start with those. I love their Color Sensational lipsticks. They have so many shades that you can pick from. I have 6. I wear them pretty often. There's a couple shades that are not, you know, worn as often, like Let Me Pink is a little bit darker of a pink than I usually go for. A red. Ruby for me is a great blue toned red, and it'll make your teeth white. It's such a beautiful red. Cinnamon is a more of a deeper nude brown shade. Vehicles. And then I've got 3 nice pinks. Flush Punch they're all very similar. Blushing Pout, and then Born With It. Like, I use all 3 of these pretty interchangeably. They're nice. I love them to death. And then I love their matte ink, Super Stay Matte inks. I've got 4 shades. I decluttered, I think, 2 that I just wasn't using. But the shade Lover is seriously a My Lips But Better for color. So it's so beautiful. They last super well. The red is 20 Pioneer. It's a nice, beautiful blue red again. I loved wearing it when I was at Walgreens for Red Nose Day. I could put it on in the morning and not need to retouch it throughout my entire shift. It lasts so well. It is fairly drying, but if you can handle it and let it just be, you're gonna love it and get through it. It lasted through eating. Sometimes I would add an extra little bit because I don't know, I felt like it. That's how my brain is. I'm like, I want more. I want to be a little more punchy again. It fades like a tiny bit, and the Savannah brand was like, it needs to be 100% 24/7. But on those shifts where it was busy and I couldn't go reapply, it was just perfect. I also enjoy some of their glosses. I have the Vivid Hot Lacquer in 62 Charmer. It's a beautiful, kind of a thicker like gloss. It's beautiful, lasts really well, but it is a bit more thick and sticky. Unlike the Maybelline Lifter Gloss, it has hyaluronic acid to help hydrate. I love this stuff. I wear it constantly. Like, if you could tell how much I used, you would be amazed. You don't need a lot. It's really beautiful. It's sheer, but not like super sheer. I use the shade Silk. Whew, I can speak, I promise. It's such a nice gloss, not overly sticky or anything. Maybelline does have the only drugstore foundation that I use routinely. It is the Maybelline Dream Radiant Liquid Hydrating Foundation. I use the shade 00 Alabaster. It's so nice. It's a great shade match for me. If I could just make it a tiny bit more pink, it would be perfect, but I love it. It lasts really well on my skin. I do have dry skin, hence using a foundation that is hydrating. And I'm extremely pale, so it's hard to find a foundation that matches me and works well for my skin. You don't need to go use a lot. You can use one pump. It gives a nice bit of coverage, but not too much. I also enjoy their Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser Concealer. I like it. I'm not a fan of the packaging. This is another because I finished up my old one, but yeah, they came out with a newer shade in the lighter region that I do want to try, so that's why this is here. But it is very full coverage. You don't need a lot. The shade I used to use, which is just plain ivory. This one is Cool Ivory. I could use that on my no makeup days where I just wanted to do a little bit of concealer under the eyes and call it good. It blends so well, and it lasts really well. I've used so many of these. It's insane. I have two of these. They are the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder in 05. Trying to use these babies up. They are great. They are matte, and I don't find them to be overly cakey, more translucent on my type of a skin tone, so it's really great. It helps just lock everything in place for me. Their blush, I have 20 Mauve. It's really nice. I like the shade. It's just the sheen is a little much. The more I use it, the more I'm getting a sheen instead of pigment. I like their eyeliner formula, especially their gel ones. Very beautiful and easy to use. Haven't tried out the liquid eyeliners too much or a lot of their other mascaras. This one is the Lash Sensational Luscious. I like it so far. It's just the wand's a little different and taking me some trial and error. I do also want to make a quick note. I wish that I had a liner sharpener that works really well with these. They are apparently an odd size in my, I couldn't sharpen my white one, which just fell to the floor earlier when I tried. But now, excuse you, to the last brand that has the smallest amount of items in that category, Loreal. We're almost done, guys, I promise. Alright, so we are on to the last brand. So, it's Loreal, as I mentioned before. I only have 5 things here with me. Yeah, I'm mostly just, the main reason that this group is on my list, not the lipstick. It's okay, meh. But I love their eyeliners, but most of all, I love their mascara. I'm wearing it today. Stop moving around there, liners. And this is what I'm mostly going to talk about for L'Oreal. It is the Voluminous Lash Paradise Mascara. It is seriously my favorite. I like to use Waterproof Blackest Black. It lasts so well. It's volumizing, it's lengthening. It's got that big thick brush. It's black. I love everything about it, and it's my absolute favorite drugstore mascara of all time. And I always go back to it. Everyone compares it to the Too Faced one, but I prefer this. Especially when it came to the waterproof formula, which was kind of a dud for Too Faced. L'Oreal did it right with this mascara. I love the waterproof. I love the non-waterproof. And it's just amazing. I'm pretty much always going to have one of these in my collection for the rest of forever. And that is everything. I really do hope you all enjoyed some of this video. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell to see more of my goofy face. I upload every Tuesday and Friday, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I'm gonna go and see you all in the next video. I love you all. Bye. Stupid lawnmower.